Minecraft is a game that has captured the hearts of millions worldwide, but like any masterpiece, it's not without its imperfections. For me at least, there are 3 core gameplay aspects that need to be changed for Minecraft to unlock its full potential. Part 1. The Industrial Revolution, 1762. Wrong script. Let's try that again. Part 1. Bosses. I can't recall just how many times I beat the Ender Dragon, then went to the End City, got a weapon to surpass Metal Gear, then thought, well, I guess there's nothing left to do besides building. Now I know that Minecraft is a game whose combat is meant to be so easy that an overly competent rock with hands could beat its bosses, but it doesn't excuse the fact that realistically there are only 2 bosses total in this game. Now the Warden could have been a cool boss that has to be avoided early game and can be killed later in the game, but no, it can't drop any items because some people might not be able to beat it. That is simply a lame mindset, and instead it should have some kind of cool drop that thematically fits the boss. I propose the addition of a Warden's Heart. The heart would function similar to an enchanted book, granting different effects when applied to different armor pieces, or it can be consumed for temporary benefits. When applied to boots, the Warden's Heart would enable silent movement, allowing players to traverse the depths with ease and stealthily eliminate subsequent wardens. When applied to leggings, it could make you immune to environmental slowness like cobwebs, berry bushes, mud, and more. Applying it to a chestplate would create an effect that deters certain hostile mobs, such as spiders and creepers. Lastly, when applied to a helmet, it would provide immunity to blindness. However, if players choose to consume the heart, they would experience both buffs and debuffs. Initially, they would gain 10 absorption hearts, strength 4, and resistance 2 for 1 minute, providing immense power. As an endgame item, the drawback would be less severe, but still significant. Players would become blind and afflicted with Wither 4 for a full minute. This high-risk, high-reward mechanic would make the Warden's Heart an incredibly potent item, comparable to a God Apple. Next up is the only other quote-unquote boss in the game, the Elder Guardian. While technically this does have a relatively unique drop in a wet sponge, there are entire rooms of the stuff in most ocean monuments. I would make this boss slightly harder by increasing its health and damage, as well as making it so that when it drops below half health, it spawns 10 guardians nearby that immediately start searching for the player. In terms of loot, instead of dropping a wet sponge, the Elder Guardian would now drop a more valuable item, the Heart of the Sea. The Heart of the Sea could be crafted with items specific to the ocean monument to create a Guardian's core. This core would serve a similar purpose to the Warden's Heart, but with a focus on Guardian-related abilities. When combined with a helmet, the Guardian's core would provide a faint dashed line, indicating the trajectory of any projectile in real time. For the chestplate, it would grant the ability to inflict thorns damage to nearby hostile mobs whenever the player takes damage. Lastly, when applied to a bow or crossbow, the Guardian's core would allow all projectiles to travel in a straight line without being affected by gravity. I would make the same type of changes to the Nether Star, but I think you get the point. With these changes, bosses would be more intriguing to fight and more satisfying to defeat, as you get a substantial reward from each one that players would be eager to obtain. Part 2. Building. Taking a sharp turn off of combat for a moment, there are some changes I would love to see made to the craft part of Minecraft. Building cool structures that you can show to your friends is one of the best parts of Minecraft, but if you have built in this game for any amount of time, you know the limited selection of materials at your disposal. A lot of times, players just end up using stone bricks and stone, or wood for their structures. However, this is no fault of their own. Besides the fact that they look good, the reason people use these blocks is because they have more options. Each of these blocks have the following alternate block types: slabs, stairs, pressure plates, buttons, and fences or walls. Wood has even more, with trapdoors, doors, chests, bookshelves, ladders, and signs. Meanwhile, what do prismarine bricks have? Well, they have stairs and slabs. Not too shabby, you would think. But here's the thing that really pisses me off. Regular prismarine has stairs, slabs, and walls. Why? Why do they do this? For what reason? Prismarine isn't even the worst of it. Cool blocks like bone blocks and concrete just only have the full-sized block to work with. As someone who is relatively competent at building in Minecraft, I can say with confidence that this limitation is insanely frustrating. Now, I'm not a game dev, but I have made a texture for a block in Minecraft before, and let me tell you, it is not hard. Give all blocks at least slabs, stairs, and walls, as those quite literally are just taking a copy-paste job from the base texture. The amount of possibilities this would open up for building would be quite literally unmatched. You could take this concept even further by making every block in the game have the options that wood has, with unique doors, buttons, bookshelves, and more. I really think it would take 1 or 2 competent interns at Mojang a couple of months to make the largest, most substantial change to building of all time. The other massive change to building I would make is the addition of vertical slabs. Now, Mojang has said in a blog post that vertical slabs would inhibit creativity.
Stop the cap!
Inhibit creativity? Are you serious? Adding more ways to build in the game would inhibit creativity. Say it real slow. If Mojang really thinks this, and it isn't just an excuse to not add them into the game out of laziness, I would eat my shoe. Part 3, The Black Plague, 1346 to 1353. Part 3, Adventuring and Biomes. The last part of the game that I believe could do with some changes is adventuring in biomes. Now, this is one part of the game that Mojang seems to be actively working on. I think that all the above ground biomes in the overworld are all pretty well designed and pretty good looking. I wish that they would create more mobs like the stray and the husk for each biome, but it isn't entirely necessary. In the regular caves, normal mobs should suffice, but for places like mineshafts, zombies should have a slightly different appearance and hold pickaxes. A counterpart to the lush caves could be made that isn't so friendly, with hostile plant enemies and thematically fitting skeletons and zombies. Moving away from looking at the caves, structures and their loot need an update. The stronghold should have unique mobs, or at worst, have armored zombies and skeletons that spawn in its premises. Ender pearls and golden apples should be found in almost every chest to help prepare for the fight with the Ender Dragon, and reward the player for exploring. Nether Fortress chests should have blaze rods and powder alongside a chance for wither skeleton skulls instead of just finding horse armor every single time. The End Islands are currently the most boring biome in the game. Most players will go there once and never come back. Realistically, I think that the End Islands should be the final frontier and needs a whole redesign like the Nether got. There should be biomes complete with unique structures, plant life, passive mobs, and new hostile mobs. Traversing the island should be challenging and scary until the player conquers an end city and gains access to an elytra. A rare ore should be obtainable, allowing one final upgrade to netherite armor, with the enhanced chestplate being able to be combined with an elytra. There are definitely more changes I could spew out in regards to making adventuring more satisfying, but the video is getting long, and at this point, you should get what I'm saying. I would like to thank you all for watching. Let me know if there's anything you agree or disagree with, and I plan to expand a lot more on how I could change the End Islands to be a true endgame location in my next video. So if you are interested, please subscribe.